morning, Gratiot High School. I'm Carter.
And I'm Skylar, and this is the news for the week of May 15th.
For lunch this week, today will be mac sticks, Tuesday will be walking tacos, Wednesday will be popcorn chicken, Thursday will be chicken Alfredo, and Friday will be cheeseburgers.
Last Tuesday, GHS seniors had the opportunity during lunch to trade in recyclables. In return, they received tickets for a drawing where they won gift cards and other items from local businesses. This Thursday, it's our turn. Juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Empty your backpacks and turn in old paperwork and other recyclables for a chance to win.
It's almost time to return your Chromebooks. Make sure you have your Chromebook and charger and return them to the tech department starting this Thursday.
If you were assigned a locker this year, make sure it's cleaned out by the end of the year, even if you haven't used it.
There are lots of end-of-year events this week. Scholarship Night is this Tuesday, the 16th, where graduating seniors will be presented scholarships from their colleges and communities. This will be immediately followed by the National Honor Society induction ceremony.
Friday night is baccalaureate, and then finally, graduation is Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Earlier this semester, pre-AP biology students participated in a science fair. Here's Taylor to tell us more about it.
You know science fair is the things you did in like elementary school? Well, did you know that we also had it here in Gratiot High School? The science fair is a competition where students come up with a project themselves and they do an experiment, and they present to a judge. Gratiot had a local science fair at the high school. It was just Gratiot students. The winners from that went on to go and compete in the regional science fair at the University of Arkansas. The winners from that went to State Science Fair in Conway at the University of Central Arkansas.
The most memorable part was probably being able to see all the other science fair projects, because there was a large variety of projects, from ones that honestly you would see an elementary student doing, all the way up to like trying to make a way for people to get insulin cheaper, like really, really top-notch, almost college-level things. So I think the most memorable part, once again, was to be able to walk around and see all the other students' projects and how well they were able to do it.
Next year, they will be opening up the science fair for anyone and everyone that wants to do it. Maybe next year you can explode into the science fair too. Back to you, Carter and Skylar.
Thank you, Taylor.
Our Educators Rising students finished first in state earlier this semester. Here's Gabe to tell us more.
Did you know we have a club for people that want to become teachers and work with students?
Educators Rising is a teacher club that you can join if you would like to be a teacher.
Educators Rising does community service and works as part of the DEV project and the help at the elementary.
Educators Rising state competition was March 28th at Arkansas State University in Jonesboro.
Educators Rising at state competition did teacher-created material. They created a game to play in the classroom. They also got to see and watch the Teacher of the Year. Educators Rising will be going to Nationals in Orlando, Florida on June 28th. Great job to you, Educators Risings, and good work at Nationals. Back to you, Carter and Stryler.
Thanks, Gabe.
Did you know that the city of Gratiot has a museum? Our star reporter, Johnny Kelly, went to scope it out and let us know what they're up to.
Have you heard of the Gratiot Historical Museum? Well, if you haven't, they've been around for quite a while and have over 100 years of Gratiot history. The Gratiot Museum has been around since 1995 and was located where modern-day Pet Pop stands. In 2003, the museum was gifted the Kinley House and built a single-building annex. That annex now houses a multitude of exhibits. Now as we enter the museum, we see some Captain Kinley memorabilia. Here is Bob Kelly to tell us about Captain Kinley's time as a World War II ace fighter pilot.
He later ended up being a flight leader when America entered the war, and he is recorded as probably the fourth ranking ace of World War I. He had 12 aerial victories, and quickly, I guess, was promoted and favored by his friends.
And as we make our way through the museum, we can see their Gratiot diorama. Here's Al Blair to tell you more about that.
Johnny Varner, who was a longtime barber in Gratiot, and about 91 or 92, he got a group together. They was originally going to build a 9x12 diorama, and the ending was about 12 by 20 of the diorama. It continued to grow. Buildings were made by different people.
And now we make our way into the schoolroom, which encases the yearbook photos and names of every graduating class all the way up to 1908. Here is again Bob Kelly to tell you more about that.
Mr. Kinley owned, and he donated for the first high school building, and you see a picture of it right here in 1924. And it's set right here where the parking lot is of the Civic Center and the swimming pool. But what's remarkable about some of these class photos was that that same building I started the 7th grade in, and 7th, 8th, and 9th grade was on the bottom floor, 10, 11, 12 was on the top floor, and there was a library up there. And all these photos that you see hung on the wall in the library.
The museum's board of directors and staff is volunteer-based, which means they all volunteer their time to bring you the most accurate and interesting information about the history of Gravette. And even with the abundance of exhibits they have, they still continue to grow and add more information about this city. Now that you know a little more, if you have any interest in the history of Gravette, we suggest that you come visit the highly intriguing Gravette Historical Museum.
Now let's go back to Johnny for the weather.
Thank you, Skylar. Good morning, Gravette students. I'm Johnny Kelly, and this is your weekly weather forecast. Now, this week is going to start off a little bit wetter than last week with some scattered thunderstorms on Monday and a high of 77 and a low of 61. Those temperatures do drop as we go into Tuesday with a high of 72 and a low of 58 with some light rain. So the rain does let up a little bit. Going into Wednesday, the light rain persists with a high of 76 and a low of 58. So the temperatures do come up. Going into Thursday, the high is 80 and the low is 62 with light rain still persisting. And then going into Friday, it's going to go into partly cloudy skies with a high of 82 and a low of 60. So the temperatures are still rising into the weekend. I'm Johnny Kelly, and that is your weekly weather forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Last week, in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, we asked you who your favorite teacher was, and the results are in. Over 300 of you responded, and with almost 9% of the vote, we've determined that your favorite teacher is Miss Schaefer. Congrats, Miss Schaefer. You are loved and appreciated.
For this week's survey, we want to know, do you enjoy GHS TV News? What can we do next year to make it better?
Well, that's everything for us. I'm Skylar.
And I'm Carter.
And we'll see you next week. Carter!